Hello, Markee Dragon, also known as Marcus Eikenberry in real life, and welcome to another episode of the EVE Online 30-Day Challenge. So, let me bring on the guys here in TeamSpeak. Hello, guys. How are you today?
Fine, how are you?
Doing well. Doing well. Glad to see you guys here.
Hey, Markee.
Likewise.
So the first thing that I encountered today is I had a patch from CCP, and it changed the launcher, it changed the interface for logging in, and everything, and then all of my settings went away. And is that something that happens on every patch?
No, you have often different bad things happen when they patch the game.
Oh, okay. And so let's see here. The trick for me was, so all of my stuff went away. All of my overview while I was flying, all of my skills set up, everything that was expanded, even the decimal point on in my bank account was showing again when I had turned it off and everything. And so somebody suggested that I just close the client and restart it, and that actually looks like it fixed everything. So I don't know, is that the fix all the time, or sometimes it's a lot worse?
That did not happen for me, but on the other hand, for me, I had to manually update the game and go some cut corners and find another way just to be able to get the client running for me.
Yeah. So, okay, so any of you guys who are watching that are having the same problem, just close down the whole client when it's done loading, load it back up again, and that's what did the trick for me. So, okay. Well, that was interesting. I was very disappointed whenever I saw everything that was all messed up, and I'm like, oh man, I'm going to spend the first hour of the show just setting stuff up again. And I didn't think that was going to be very interesting. So, okay. Let me also just mention that after this latest patch, when I'm running multiple accounts, it's not nearly as efficient. Running 2 accounts at once, it took me forever to launch the second account.
Yeah, and it's also when you're changing accounts, it also makes that take longer because you need to load up the launcher every time. So not only by running, also you're changing accounts and doing some things like that, like logging an account to check the market or something. It takes longer. So, on my opinion, it's worse to have the launcher like this.
Yeah. So I mean, I had I was able to get 2 clients running at once, and when they were running, it did seem to be fine, but it just took me a hell of a lot longer to get into the game. So, yeah. Okay.
I hope they will fix it when enough people have been raging on the forums.
Does CCP respond to stuff like that? Like when there's a lot of stuff that people don't like, do they actually listen and fix that?
Yeah, I mean, how else do you think they could have been running this game with people steadily increasing for 10 years?
How many players are there now?
I think it's just over 300,000, I think. So it's not the biggest, but it's been steadily on the rise.
Chat room saying 500K.
Okay.
But yeah, so yeah.
But if you have 500K accounts or players, so the account number is like I have 6 accounts, for example. So
Right.
500,000 accounts does not necessarily mean 500,000 players.
True. But it does mean 500,000 paid accounts.
Yes.
Which probably that is the more important number overall, at least in business terms. So
Yes.
I think the difference between 300,000 players or 500,000 players and to how many actually players you interact with in the game, you probably don't see any difference. Other than maybe you have a little bit more cannon fodder with the higher number. So,
Yeah.
yeah.
Didn't see my link in there. Someone pointed out that many years ago, CCP did a royal screw up when they, in one of their patches, they added in a file called boot.ini, and when people tried to start the computers, they wouldn't start.
I remember that. And it was because they were just copying files from a dev's machine to, and they just grabbed one of the wrong files and put that in there, in the patch.
Yeah. And
Yeah.
they made fun of themselves on their YouTube channel with the video.
Well, at least they have good humor about that. I mean, that's serious right there. You know, I can't imagine what would happen if I were playing on my work computer. I patched the game and all of a sudden I couldn't do my work. Busted. I think that's pretty funny. So, I do remember hearing about that, though. Most definitely. I didn't never see the video, but I do remember the news of that event because it was pretty big news. So
The video's only 21 seconds long.
Oh.
Yeah, and also when they put the captain quarters and disabled the ship spinning, that caused a lot of rage, and they put the ship spinning back.
I see. The important stuff.
Yeah, I mean the captain quarters is like 10 times heavier than the hangar view, and so.
Actually, I had to quit the game because of that, because I couldn't use the captain's quarters, so I couldn't play the game anymore. So that was pretty significant.
Yeah. Yeah, that is a problem, isn't it?
Yeah, then everybody got really pissed off and started shooting at statue.
Yeah.
And it was a mass protest, and lots of people stopped paying stopped paying subscriptions to lots of accounts. So they felt pretty ashamed of themselves and learned that way to listen to the community, or else it's gonna come straight down to their wallet by people protesting by not paying for their accounts.
Yeah, you can have a hit game. You can have a game that people really love to play. But if you tick off your audience, your players, well, it doesn't matter how good the game is, it has a chance of not surviving it. So, seen that a few times. Okay, let's see here. Well, actually, first thing I got to do is I got to bring up my mail here. I need to find this mail from Rollas. Here we go. And I need to get these skills up. I don't know what it is we're going to do, but apparently he sent these to me because we were going to go out and do something with them, so figure, okay, I'll get them working. So I'm really happy that I'm nearly done with my, let's see, I'm at level 3 right now on fuel conservation. Okay. I'm really happy that I've almost got my destroyers done. So, and this one's at level 3 as well. Okay. So maybe I'm almost done with these. Missile bombardment, level 2. Okay, and missile projection, both level 2. Okay. Let's see, and I can fit one more skill in there. It's kind of interesting. You know, what's the difference between why they give you a 24-hour skill timer and not just allowing you to put up everything the way you want? What do you think is the thought behind that?
So that you don't just put up skills for 1 year without entering the game, or something like that. so that you have to go into the game, and so that you just don't forget about it or something like that. Don't just do AFK training for a year on a character and then sell it or something.
Oh, I could see that.
Yeah, before we didn't even have the training queue, so if your skill finished in the middle of the night, you either had to change it or you had to wake up to change the skill.
Okay, well I can see this is better, and I can see that. I wouldn't want people, you know, to set up a stuff of training and then come back in a year and have that, be an account that they just try and sell, or a character they try and sell. There should be a little bit more investment into it other than that. Otherwise, that kind of destroys the marketplace in a bit.
Yeah, and they also changed that they had so that if your subscription, if you didn't pay your subscription and you were training a skill when the account was deactivated, it would keep training that skill. It was like that, so people would set on like a skill that took a month or one and a half a month, and then just don't pay a subscription, and this character would still still be training. They took that off, so now if your account gets disabled, then your character stops training. So.
That makes sense.
Yeah, some people were really pissed about that, but I don't really understand why.
Well, when people feel like a feature has been nerfed or something like that, which I would call that a feature whenever they reduce the functionality of it. It was a feature people feel slighted. It's normal.
Yeah.
It's like I had this car that I was driving, and they put these skinny little tires on it after I had these nice wide tires on it, and all of a sudden I couldn't take the corners as quick. And I was like, damn, my car's just been nerfed.
yeah, but I understand them perfectly taking this away, because you could train something to level 4, then start or pay 1 month, train some skills to level 4, then just put on one skill that takes over the month and don't pay. And so you will have a character with a lot of long skills trained that you haven't paid for full subscription. Then you sell the toon for the price of that you would get for if you had paid the whole subscription, if you know what I mean.
Yeah.
Because it's usually you pay per skill point when in ISK.
Okay, well, I got the rest of the stuff that Rolas wanted in the queue right now, so it'll be done sometime tomorrow. He has bonus items in here too, which I'm not sure, but I'll probably work on those, I guess, as a bonus thing. But I can't add any more to the queue right now, so I'll have to look at those tomorrow. Let's see here. I want to talk about Autopilot. Obviously, you guys have some experience with Autopilot, right?
Yeah, that's why I don't use it.
Okay. Well, let me. What I want to do is I want to show the difference here, and so I think I need to get myself a shuttle or something. Let me see what. Here we go. I've got a little shuttle right here.
Yeah, then you can, just to show the difference, take the time. Take like 5 or 6 jumps without autopilot, and let take the 5 or 6 jumps with the autopilot on.
Yeah, I think that's a good idea. Okay. Okay, let me rename this ship. Let's see. Change name. So, okay, let's see here. Where do I want to go? Let's see. Do I have any assets here within a few jumps? Ooh, look at all them blueprints. I'm not going to run around with blueprints on me. Okay, but I'll that'll be a fine place to set as a destination. So okay, let's see here. Okay, so on the way there, I'm going to fly manually, and then we'll talk about autopilot as it's happening on the way back, just in case I get blown up. I'm going to write down the time here.
Yeah, I don't think we have any active war at the time.
Okay. See how long it takes me to get there. So, tell me about ranks in factional warfare. Do any of you have any ranks?
You mean like, you know, admiral or whatever, you know, kind of thing?
I'm not sure. I saw that.
I'm not sure what you mean.
Well, okay. I guess I'm not sure what I'm asking either. I saw on the Eve Wiki talking about getting ranks and how you did that through factional warfare.
That's the only thing I can think of. You just get these titles as you do the PvE part of the thing, and just playing and getting your status faction raised and stuff.
Mm-hmm. So it's just is it just a display thing that, you know, hey, I'm proud I have this badge, or does it offer you any convenience or discounts, or?
It's just like medals.
Mm-hmm. And the medals really don't do anything. They're just no. Trophies. Okay. Okay, well, doesn't sound very important. Sounds like it's just a prestige item. Okay. I love flying around. I gotta tell you guys.
Yeah, and they're getting new effects when you jump between systems to take away the loading bar. So it will look a little nicer.
Oh, really?
Mm-hmm.
So we won't have those.
FanFest.
Yeah, they won't have those anymore. Okay.
Yeah, they said on FanFest they're at war with loading bars. They don't like.
Mm-hmm.
It's unspacey to have loading bars. It should be,
I agree.
It should be cool effects instead of loading bars.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, that's true. That's true.
I'm looking forward to the supposed, that reminds me, the supposed no loading screens for EverQuest Next. I think a lot of games want to just go to no loading, no transitioning.
Let's see, almost there.
The only problem I can see with that is that instead of an annoying loading bar where just nothing's happening, there'll be an annoying animation where you can't skip past.
Mm. Mm-hmm. That is true. I mean, that's in effect, that's exactly what's going to happen. Well, I wonder if we have any war decks against us right now. Let's see. Where do I find that out?
Go to Corporation, and then go to Wars.
Up in the top left corner.
It's already on your bar, too.
It is.
The third one up.
Third one up. Fleet?
No, maybe not. It's too small for me to see.
It's the one with the 5 stars around it.
Okay.
It's in social.
We're not involved in any wars! Woohoo! That's sweet. I'm happy.
Then
Okay.
then it's much harder for you to get blown up if you don't have any wars.
This is true.
Like the last time you wanted action, you just had to undock, and then you had all the action you ever wanted.
Most definitely. Too much action. And so this is kind of exciting. I mean, I don't want to jinx it, but, you know, this is exciting. So.
If you could easily just go to LoSec and find it.
Yes, well, if I want action, I know I can go to get it. It may allow me to do a few other things, so that's what I'm kind of looking forward to. Okay, let's see here. Okay, so I'm in the station here, and so it took me 5.5 minutes. So let's see here. Okay, so Autopilot, I just want to show how Autopilot's working and everything, and the benefits of using it or not using it. And let's see here. Yeah, that's it. Also some other things I noticed about it. So I'm going to undock here. I flew here the exact same route. I'm just going to fly it back. And it took me 5.5 minutes to get here. We'll time how long it takes to get back. And so I'm just writing another time point here. And we shall see. So, okay. Now, and to hit Autopilot, it's just the A down here. So I hit my autopilot, autopilot's engaged, it lights up, and now I can do hands-free driving, flying, whatever it is you do in space. So would you guys say that flying autopilot is a lot more dangerous?
It definitely is if you are in a war deck. Definitely don't do that. You also don't want to do it in LoSec, and you don't want to do it in nullsec.
And if you're flying around with precious cargo, you definitely don't want to do it, because then people have enough time to cargo scan you and see if you have anything valuable and destroy you and steal your cargo.
Now, the only time... Oh, go ahead.
No, go ahead. Go ahead.
I was going to say, the only time I would think it's acceptable to autopilot is if you're not in any particularly special ship. It's just, you know, like a battleship or anything like that. Or you're in a freighter and you're in like an NPC core. Because freighters take forever to align and forever to warp. So I can imagine that you wouldn't really want to just stick around every time jump, because it takes like 10 minutes per system.
Well, now, okay, so this is where I noticed it, because I've got a level 4 freighter now, and I thought, well, I'm going to try the autopilot, and you know, because I'm tired of sitting here. And something I noticed, you know, because they do fly so much slower and everything. This shuttle is quite fast, but they fly so much slower. Like when this comes out of warp here, it's going to drop out of warp, and he's going to be like 16 to 20 clicks away from the gate and then have to fly in. Yes. Whereas when I just, when I manually do it, I land almost on top of the gate. So,
yep.
Now, why is the difference there? Why is autopilot dumber? Or why does it always, because autopilot, it's not just some range, it seems. It seems like it always dumps me that far out.
It's a convenience thing. It's basically saying, yeah, we can automatically have your ship go to each system, but there's going to be opportunities where you could get killed. Because if you had it to where it automatically warped to 0, for autopilot, that'd be too easy just to like, okay, I don't have to worry about ever being killed while I'm going to the bathroom or getting food or away or whatever. Just let it run, and then I'm home free. it's kind of like, well, yeah, you can do that. But if you really want to be completely safe, you got to be at your keyboard doing it manually. There was a glitch. It was either a glitch or a hack that people were actually able to get their autopilot to land them at 0, and CCP banned everyone who did that.
Oh, interesting. Okay. Now, it was mentioned that maybe if you're in a freighter, that you don't worry about it so much, but that kind of conflicts with what was also said, that they have more time to scan you and possibly blow you up.
Yeah. For my taste, I would never put my freighter in autopilot. I have a freighter. I have a Charon, one of the large ones, the Kaltari one. But I would never put it on autopilot because it flies so slow that just taking like 4 jumps would take like an hour or more. So even though it takes long to align, it takes much longer to fly these 16 kilometers. So I would never. Plus the freighters cost like, I think now it's like 1.2 billion, and you don't need that many ships to kill them. So
right.
I would never autopilot my freighter. But probably some players do it. So the only times I've used autopilot is if I have a specially passive speed fitted interceptor or something, and go and have something to eat while it flies. So.
Now, also, I guess with having a freighter that costs so much that even if it's empty, you wouldn't want to use autopilot. But like my level 4 industrial ship, it was 100. What was it? 100 million, something like that. It wasn't a huge amount comparatively, and I suppose that I might fly it. I might fly it on autopilot when empty, but I do agree that I'd be really nervous about flying it autopilot when I'm full. So.
Yeah, it's a different. It's not the same with anyone. I really don't like this autopilot feature. I almost never use it. So some people use it for AFK freighting with transport ships like or the smaller industrials.
Huh.
But like I say, it's just a difference between play styles.
Yeah, like I said, it's only really for ships that don't have any significant value to them. I mean, frigates, up to battleships. Just everyone has those. There's nothing particularly valuable in them generally, and no one really tries to suicide gank those.
Yeah, but if you're going from one end of the empire to the other end, like I say, you can, if you have an interceptor, its base speed is if you have polycarbon engine housing rigs and have overdrive injector systems in the low slot, then it's got a really fast base speed. So then you can use it while you go into eat or something, then just take off autopilot and keep doing it manually, because that ship isn't worth that much. But I would probably not do it with anything bigger or more expensive.
Yeah. So, and even if you're taking the safe routes, you're a target, huh?
Yeah, of course. Especially, I mean, in a transport ship, 05, 06 is a dangerous, can be a dangerous place because in those systems it takes much longer for a Concorde to arrive. So especially in 05. So, and you can notice if you're flying through 05 and you look on the ships that are on the gate, if you see like 5 or 6 tornadoes hanging on the gate, then you know that's a suicide gang. They're just hanging around. Lots of high DPS ships, not that expensive. then you know they're probably a suicide gang. And if you're not on a transport ship and somebody quick locks you and then unlocks you again, they're probably cargo scanning you.
Hmm. Interesting.
So, yeah, so if you have something valuable in your ship and you suspect you have been cargo scanned, then you need to watch out what you're doing. Because it's really easy for them to have a ship that locks you, warp scrambles you, just as you go out of the cloak when you jump through a gate, and then the other bombards you and kill you in seconds.
Mm-hmm.
And then they have a neutral transport ship that comes in, takes from your wreck, and warps to a safe spot until it's.
So it took 8 minutes. So 5.5 minutes manually, 8 minutes on autopilot for 5 sectors, station to station.
Yeah. So you see, if you were taking 30 jumps in a ship that is half the speed of this ship, so you see it would take.
I did a cargo run earlier today, and I did it all on autopilot while empty, and it took 40 minutes or so to go 19 sectors. So it seemed like forever. So, okay, next question here. You mentioned a freighter as compared to an industrial ship, and a freighter that costs like over $1 billion. You know, I was looking at my ship. Even at a class or the level 4 for, industrial ship that I've got, it is not big enough. I have to make like 4 or 5 runs to carry everything that I've got from one station to another. And so, and it's, let's see, I'm in right now. So that's battleships. I don't need battleships. I'm in an industrial ship. No, where am I? Standard industrial ships, gee whiz. So I've got an Iteron Mark IV, and it has, let's see, it has cargo capacity of 5,250 square meters. And then I was looking at even the next one up, which is the Mark V, which only has 6,000 square meters of space. Are there ships that have more space than this?
I mean, I think with my skills, my freighter can take million cubics.
Okay, so let me ask a question here. When I look at the ships that are available, none of them are called freighters. And that's where I'm getting confused.
Don't forget that you can put the cargo expanders and the rigs on there to increase it.
You can probably get the Iteron up to Iteron 5 to what, to 20,000 or something. To find the freighters, I think they're sorted with capital ships, so you have to go to capital ships and freighters.
Capital ships and then freighters. Okay.
Yeah. Yes.
Okay, there they are.
I have the Caldari one.
You have the Caldari one. Okay. Let's take a look at that. Yeah. So 1.3 billion. Okay, I've seen these ships before. Wow, 785,000 square meters.
If you look at the description, Caldari freighter skill bonus, 5% bonus to cargo capacity and 5% bonus to maximum velocity. So this 5% bonus with every level of skill adds up to I believe it's million cubics at level 5. That you can put in the ship.
And there's also an item called an Orca. I don't remember where it is, so just go up to the top of the search bar and type in Orca. That's kind of a in-between ship for freighters and industrials.
Yeah, it's in capital industrial ships in capital ships.
Oh, here's this ugly thing. I see these all the time in Cheetah. This thing, I don't know what it looks like. It looks like one of the women in the bar in Star Wars.
Yeah, probably it's a hideous thing.
Yeah.
And then you have the Minmotor one that looks like what, garbage container or something, dumpster.
Well, let's look at all the rest of these. Oh, this one looks pretty. The Providence, the Amara one.
Yeah, someone once called the Valente ships more like they're organic looking or something.
Oh yeah, this just looks like a box. This actually, it does look a lot like a freighter. So.
Yeah, it looks like a dumpster.
Yeah. Okay, so now you said that so you're running the Galante. No, you're running the Caldari one, and the Caldari one gives you a bonus.
They all give you bonuses.
Oh, they all give bonuses.
But they give you different. You see, the cargo capacity of the Fenrir is a little bit lower, so you can't get that one over 1,000,000 cubics. They have a little bit different speed, mass. So there's a little difference between them.
Mm-hmm. Oh yeah, that one has just a little bit more cargo space. So, oh yeah, it's got the most, the Caldari. And
with the multiplication effects of the skills, it also gets up to the most. So you're getting the most cargo space for your skills, but it's slower.
So to be able to run that would take me 28 days of skill training.
Yeah, plus it's very expensive and.
Now, why would you want to be able to transport that much stuff? I mean, I thought that the whole thing of just trying to. I have. I don't know, I have 14,000 cubic meters worth of stuff or something like that. And these ships right here are just enormous. Like this one is 785,000 cubic meters.
I was manufacturing battleships, for example, so I needed to move the battleship hulls to a trade hub to sell them. So when I manufactured 5 or 10 battleship hulls, and I don't, and my character doesn't even have the skill to fly them. I just threw them all into the freighter and flew them to a trade hub.
Okay, so especially for moving ships, then.
Yes.
Okay, I can see that. I have a lot of ships that I'm not able to put into my industrial ship and transport. I'm able to do shuttles. I think that I can do rifters, but most of the stuff I can't.
Yeah, I think if you get a Tech 2 industrial, one of them has quite a big cargo hold. I could fit a package battlecruiser and the fit for it in that one. So. So you can get with the Tech 2 industrial ship and cargo hold expanders in all the low slots. You can get them up to be able to transport fair amount, but nowhere close to the freighters.
Yeah. So now, do you have this just so that you can move stuff for yourself, or do you ever take on jobs to move stuff for other people?
I just used it to move stuff for myself. Plus, when I was moving with other toons, I think I had in modules and ships that I moved. I think it was 900,000 cubics of ships and modules. So. But then I found out that having that much stuff really is kind of not a smart thing, so I sold most of it. But I mainly used it to transport minerals and the ships I manufactured and things for myself.
Yeah.
Yes, I think I got more from mining than doing cargo runs for other people, because my main mining character was both the miner and had the freighter skill. I didn't have a special toon for the freighter, so.
Have any of you here who are here in TeamSpeak, have any of you done moving jobs for other people?
No, I couldn't be bothered.
It doesn't pay enough?
No.
Not for my boredom, no.
Well, but you can run on autopilot, right?
Yeah.
And we know how that song and dance goes.
Right. Well, now, can you... Now, when you do jobs for other people, don't you put up some sort of bond or something like that?
A courier contract with collateral.
Mm-hmm. And so, does the courier themselves have to pay that bond?
They have to pay the collateral, yes. And if they lose your cargo, they don't get the collateral back. So.
Mm-hmm.
And that also you need to, when you're taking courier contracts, you need to watch the route, because they can be a trap. You pay something, pay high collateral, then they see who takes it, and then they try to camp you and kill you.
Oh,
And
interesting.
so that you don't get the collateral back. So if you're gonna transport something, don't accept it on the character you're gonna transport it with, because it could be a trap.
Oh, interesting.
Yeah.
So I would accept it with my Markee Dragon character, and then my alt would do the work.
Yes.
Okay, that's interesting. So I am liking having two characters. So one that I can go out and do stuff with and not be bothered.
Yeah, that's a very good thing too.
Mm-hmm.
That's why I have always kept separate my account, so that people that know me on one account don't bother me if I don't want to play with him. So
Mm-hmm.
I can just be playing with by myself somewhere else.
Right. So okay, well these are some interesting ships. I guess I don't need anything this big at the moment, but in doing one of the things I plan to get into, which is buying and selling, and I'll be transporting some stuff to other market areas where it makes sense to do so. I'll probably don't need anything this big, but I do think that or at least not right away, but my industrial ship does feel a little cramped. So, now what else are industrial ships used for? If they're, I mean, because I kind of thought they were like cargo ships, but I guess not.
They are. They're used to shift stuff from location to location.
Mm-hmm.
The Tech 2 ones, you might ask, well, why do you need the Tech 2 ones? They don't give any bonus to capacity, I think. A lot of them don't. In fact, I think a lot of them actually have less capacity than the Tech 1, but they have specific bonuses. Like some can cloak, others have... I don't even know. I don't touch the stuff.
Mm-hmm.
It's like black magic to me. I was like, stay away.
So, well, that's interesting. A cloaked freighter type thing. Can any of these big freighters cloak?
The big ones don't have module slots, unfortunately.
Oh, okay. So, if you had something that was small and extremely valuable that could fit into one of these industrial ships, then that might be a way you'd want to go.
Yep. And if it's even small enough to, like, if you're carrying like blueprints or blueprint originals, you could stick those in a small frigate, either in an interceptor or a covert ops. And covert ops can fit cloaks. They can also warp cloaked.
Yeah, I'm working towards a cheetah, which would be able to warp cloaked. And I do have some blueprint originals that were given to me. So I don't know. I'm not really sure how much they're worth, but I know that I have some.
Yeah, those would be something that you probably want to protect by not putting in an industrial ship.
Mm-hmm.
Even if you are warping at 0.
Right. Interesting. Okay. Well, I guess I just got a lesson in freighters. It's going to take me... What's the step before these freighters? Is there anything... You mentioned an Orca that was kind of in between?
Yes. It's much more versatile. In fact, I would prefer getting an Orca over anything else.
30,000 capacity. That's not... I guess that is in between. 30,000. It's still... I mean, because like I can do 6,000 on mine, or I can do 30,000 on this, or I can do 700 and some odd thousand on the other ones.
Well, the Orca, I don't know if the freighters have this, but the Orca has separate cargo bays for different things. You can actually, like, if you, what's the word? If you disassemble a ship, or what is it called? Repackaging. If you repackage a ship, you can get maybe 3 ships in there. You can actually carry ships inside it. And if they're assembled, I think you can get like 2 ships.
Let's see here.
Chat room, feel free to correct me.
Yeah, you can put in fully fitted ships into it. Because the hangar bay there.
Whoa!
It's also used for mining.
Look at that. It'd take me 49 days of training to fly one of these. Holy cow.
I showed my friend a fit for my Nightmare. I'll actually show it to you. And he was looking at it, and it was... he's just like, well, 80-something days to use Tech 2 energy beams.
You're surprised at that? Did you see how long it would take for it to do a freighter?
Well, the freighters were only 20-some days for me.
No, there's industrial and then there's freighter.
Yeah, I was in the freighters. Freighters.
Okay.
Like I'm. Well, I've got a Glinte. One thing. Let's see, prerequisites. See, this is 28 days. I don't know. Maybe it's because I've got some other stuff. This one's 28 days as well.
Yeah, you've already started training along the path to get one.
Which is kind of odd because it's just by mistake, really, because this is my Markee Dragon character, and he's not really going to be running freight around the cosmos, so because he's too much of a target.
And also take a look at the price of the hull plus the price of the skill book itself. That's why people, if you're only going to be serious in it, then that's what you do.
That is also a big thing. The like I could be in dreadnoughts, I could be in carriers, I could potentially even I can't be in a Titan. Never mind, I'm joking. I could be in a lot of really big ships right now, but the problem is that I could afford the ship, but I can't afford 2 skill books I need to get that ship, or to get in that ship, because they're about as expensive as the ship itself.
So this all, I mean, you have to look at all, are you able to pay for convenience, or is this going to make you money?
This is more for convenience. Orcas can make you money. You can... I know some people who go around to famous mining systems, and say, hey, I'm an Orca, and I'll run bonuses for you. And basically what they do is they kind of sit in space or sit near the mining operation, and everyone dumps their ore into his ship, and then he refines it or whatever, and his ship also has, like, he can fit bonus giving modules, which like reduce the cycle time for mining lasers or strip miners, or stuff like that. It's mainly what I've seen them used for.
Yeah, when I was building the ships, I mined for them myself, and with an Orca, and they have changed the mining budget system. I had an Orca and 2 Hulks. With the Orca and the perfect skills and the modules that increased, it was like mining with 3 Hulks. And then I would just mine with the Orca and transport the ore to the station with the Orca. So, if you are mining, it helps you make money, and especially if you have larger fleets and And you have orca on the belt, and then industrial ships transporting the ore. You can be multiplying because of the command ship bonuses. Yeah. So you can easily use it to make money, like I did by boosting up the amount my ships were mining.
Okay. Let me ask another thing here. Now, we talked earlier about cargo expanders or expanding the cargo space.
They're a module that go ahead.
Cargo expanders?
Cargo
Yes.
cargo hold expanders, I think.
Ship equipment.
All right, I'll look under ship equipment then. Let's see. Ship equipment.
Hull and armor.
Hull and armor.
Hull upgrades.
Hull upgrades. Okay, expanded cargo holds.
Yep.
Okay, so just looking at the expanded cargo holds here, I guess it's not really going to tell me too much.
Just give you a percentage. So.
Will they just give you a percentage?
Just go for the Tech 2 ones.
Yeah. It doesn't require much skill, and you will be using them as your first ones anyways. Check with the Tech 2 ones.
So which ones are the Tech 2 ones? The ones that have a 2 under them?
Yep.
Yeah.
Okay, so there's only one of them.
Yeah. There aren't meta levels for T2. Like Tech 1s, there's like several different ones that are slightly better, and then there's Tech 2. But Tech 2 doesn't have those meta levels.
Yeah, they have meta level now. Tech 2 is meta level 5.
I mean, like, meta levels above that.
Yeah.
Aside for faction.
Yes.
Okay, so now this says the volume of it. No, where's how much you can hold?
Cargo hold capacity bonus 27.5%.
Oh, okay. And how many of these can you fit on a typical ship?
How many low slots do you have?
Oh, I see. So I could
fill up the low slot with these.
So I could fit this onto my my industrial.
Yeah.
In a couple of spots there, and then give that bonus. Oh, and it looks like I already have the required skills.
Yeah, it's just hull upgrades too, so. And if you want to, so these are the modules you put in the low slots to increase, and then to increase the effect of these ones, I believe then you go to you put rigs on the ship to, I think they increase the base cargo space of your ship, which this affects. This affects or is calculated from the base. The base cargo hold the space on your ship. So you can also go to ship modification and rigs, and there you have astrolink rigs, and there you have cargo hold optimization, which increases your cargo hold even more.
Okay. Cool. Well, looks like I have a couple of steps. And can I fit a Tech 2 item onto a Tech 1 ship?
Yes.
Okay.
You can fit.
I see the bounty just came in.
Yeah, you can fit anything on everything if it has the power grid CPU and you have the skills for it.
Okay.
So you can put the most expensive officer armor hardener on a Tech 1 frig. If you want to.
Right. Not that you would really want to, most cases.
Nope.
But okay. Well, very good. So, okay. Well, I think that is going to end this episode. We're going to do a drawing when we come back, And then next episode, I've got a lot more stuff on my list to go through. So should be fun. Hang on, everybody. I'll be back in a minute.